Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Last we left off, we did a lot of exploration. We managed to break Wendy Oldbag's psych locks, and we talked to Matt's manager, Adrian Andrews. And we finally talked to Will Powers, got enough information to finally break another psych lock. It only took half an hour, my god. And the psych lock we're gonna break is yours. Where are you? Present the Makatama. My headset's falling off. I'm tilting my head very uncomfortably. There we go. Yes. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room? I told you, didn't I? From a scoop! What I want to know about are the details of this scoop. Well, that's not something I can tell you. I mean, that there's my bread and butter right there. Alright then. An unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Corrida and this particular person? This woman? She's Adrian Andrews, Matt Ungard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager, caught secretly meeting with his rival, the German ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it? You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup. Backup? Yeah. You gotta have that, what's it? News sauce? You mean news source. That's it! So, show me something that shows that one guy has something to do with Miss Andrews. Well, lucky for you, I found it. Oh, I can actually check it. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. A superstar in an ultra-hot mega-secret love scandal. Reliable sources say that Juan Corrida has been getting in close with the mysterious, yet beautiful, manager to the stars, Miss AA. What is it, AA battery? Alcohol's Anonymous? The AA could be anything! Oh, no, I wanted you to present it. This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. German Midnight Rendezvous. The mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. Ah! Mr. Corrida didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Ungard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Corrida's door last night. What? There we go. So you were at the crime scene. Well, just outside, I should say. So you must have witnessed something. You were looking into Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting. But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news. What'd you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do. So that's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little bit and have myself an exclusive story. Wow, Lotta. Nice journalistic integrity you got there. I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, is gone. Your note? Your note to yourself? It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here from a big story, didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me. Yeah, I understand. Always enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell ya. What's with people now, anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me. You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie. Tabloid article about the victim was in the case. That's why I wanted to present it to Miss Oldbag. I think in the last episode, because she said that she knew something from next week's article. How would she know that? Because Lotta is preparing for that article. So what if Wendy Oldbag stole the camera? That is my idea. Can I talk to you about your camera? Oh, I already did. So let me go. Can I get out of here, please? I want to go ahead and go back to the hotel lobby. Can I present it to you now, girl? Because I know there was a tabloid article in this case. Alright, shut up. Okay, maybe she didn't take it then. I don't know. I was just grasping at straws. Can you talk about this? Alright, fine. Shut up. Okay, you know what? I'll just go talk to Gumshoe real quick. Since I'm already at this part of the hotel. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing. Yeah. Oh, he's back. So you came, pal? Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. Evidence and testimony are airtight. But we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. Oh boy, an airtight case. Well, playing this game long enough to know that there is no such thing as an airtight case. So, what do you mean the evidence is airtight? Well, I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces. Two? And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the one you found during your body search of Mr. Ungard. Yep. Found in the folds of the Nickel Samurai special pants. And the second one is? The knife in his chest, pal. Fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact. Fingerprints? Whose are they? You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Matt Ungard's. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So, what about the airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean you thought so? She tell us something, pal? Well... And I even told her not to open that big mouth of hers and blab at anyone. Well, her blab knob is stuck on 10 and there's no turning it down. Trust me. Ah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She even saw Matt Ungard come out of the victim's room around the time of death. No way! Ah, great. Can I present something to you? Well, obviously I can. Do you know anything about this? Well, we're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. The scandal with Mr. Correda? But why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide. What was it with that flash? Wait. I'm actually not sure because I wasn't paying attention. Did I just imagine it? Or was that just... I feel like it happened, but wait, was there a flash? I'm not kidding. Was there a flash? Or was it just the epileptic seizure moment? That... I feel like I just imagined it, and that feels very disconcerting. No, let me just go off a bit. You know how sometimes in real life that you thought you saw something, and then when you try to think back on it, it's like, was that a dream, or was it a big imagination? That's what I feel like right now. I feel very uneased by that. It's like, what the hell was that? Suicide. Her name was Celestine Parks. And she was Juan Corrida's manager. The victim's manager? But that's not all, pal. Ms. Impact was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one. Her mentor? A woman who was both Mr. Corrida's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal? I can see why there's the interest in that, then. No, not move. I want to talk about Celestine Pax. She was the victim's manager, and also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide. Now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but hey! I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma! You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, now can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst. You don't mean? I do. Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's... Wait, please wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll start quiet. If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you want to say? Who? That voice. Edgeworth. It's been a long time, right? This person. This is Mr. Edgeworth. What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Francisca. You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You soiled the Vakama name, dragged it through the mud. You've even run away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Francisca. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You! You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow, in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same wild mare she always has. Was. Mr. Edgeworth, a ghost from our past. Where have you been? I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died. Mr. Nick! I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her right. That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What's that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack, and working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened. However, Manfred Von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a Von Karma. 1 year ago, you couldn't establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd have been better for everyone if you'd never come back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Francisca, she almost always says, "I will defeat you this time," the instant she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand there to defend my client. To save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals, those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there's still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I've yet to learn? Me? Huh. Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. That's good to know. Well, you did say that you would be generous with the information, so... Could you tell me a little bit about Celeste Impax? If she's here? Yes, she's here. Celeste Impax? This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was ruled as suicide, right? Yes. But there is still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could ever find it. A suicide note that just vanished? Huh. Can we talk about that? Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impax had even written one in the first place? Well, there was no solid evidence. However, we did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? Wow, that is a... This is enough to make a grim picture without showing her actual hanging. I mean, yeah, you see her body seemingly just levitating in the air, but they artfully cut off the head on the picture so that you don't see the rope and the hanging. I guess it's to keep it, like, kid-friendly so you can assume it's a hanging without it being shown in your face. Here, there's a woman with a rope on her neck, you know? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? Suicide report. Well, let's take a quick look at the suicide... No, I don't want to examine. Let's take a quick look at the suicide note. Not note. Suicide report. I don't like to look through reports. Oh, I said present. Whoops. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me was the first part of the report. Here is the second half. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name... What? It's Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews? What did she do? She tried to kill herself. She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman. That's what she just wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews? Dependent? Wow, talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. So she has a mentality that she has to depend on others. And if she felt the need that she had to commit suicide because Celeste Impax died, she was dependent on Celeste, and with her gone, she died. I mean, she felt no reason to stay. Anyway, can I please examine this? Wait, you didn't give me the second... Oh, I couldn't have seen it anyway. Oh, whatever. Suicide reports Celeste Impax, found by Juan Corrida. Was her suicide note hidden? Can I talk to you about that? Ooh, I can, yes. So, what's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And? And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she... Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why. But why would that... Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others? When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch black. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. Gosh, how terrible. Oh, there's our attempted suicide report. Reason for her attempted suicide? Shock from Celeste Impax's suicide. Can I talk about that? I mean, I technically don't want to, but I need information. Appearances can be deceiving. Such a cliche saying, but it's cliche because it's the truth. Miss Andrews, to think that behind that unwavering brave front, she's been hiding this weakness and fear. Something tells me that... Because I didn't bother to look at Adrian's, psych locks. So I don't know what to look for. But something tells me I just found that answer. I think I just found it. And I think now it's time to break her psych lock. But we will do that in the next episode, because I feel like that's gonna be at least 10 minutes. And I'm already at 22 minutes before cuts of any kind, so I don't want to start, dragging this on and make it into a 30-minute video. It's already getting a bit long as it is. So I'll see you all in the next episode after I take a drink, which for me is after I take a drink of water in a couple minutes. Later, everyone.